I've had so many jobs in my lifetime, and they all kind of amounted to who I am today and got me to where I am now. A lot of people always ask me, like, how did you become a YouTuber, or how do you use cameras for a living? Like, I'm working right now at this job I don't like and I don't know what to do, and I've been there. I've 100% been there. This was actually my very first job at a complex. I worked for the circus. I used to wash the elephants and sell snow cones. And I had so many jobs over the years, so many different places, but it's all of those, it's all of those things in between that make you who you are and shape you to become what you're supposed to be. It's every resignation, it's every job termination, it's every bad manager, every good manager, every HR meeting, every job that you hate, every lunch break, every punch clock. All of that stuff matters. And I always get asked, you know, if I was to do it all again, no, I wouldn't do anything different. I would still come back here and wash those elephants. One of them escaped once, and it was like the best day of my life. And this wasn't the only like weird job I had in trying to find my path. I mean, for instance, here, actually I met my wife here too, so that was a bonus. Almost here, didn't even make it to the first day of training, so here. I actually worked for Apple with my wife, only for about 4 hours though. We didn't even last through the first day of training. They all stood on their chairs and said, "Who's ready to drink the apple juice?" To which we both said no, and we left at lunch. Okay, so all of this to say that I've worked a ton of jobs. Like there was places that I left out of this video because it would have taken me like 3 more days to hit them all, and this video would have been like an hour long. But the reason I wanted to show you this, and the reason I wanted to take you to some of the spots that I've worked in my life, was to show you that I'm just like you. I'm no better than you or anybody else. I'm just a guy that worked all of these places trying to find his own passion. I finally got there. It took me like the better part of 18 years of working for other people to finally get to the point where I just work for myself now. And it took me, if you think about it, 18 years to get here. It took me washing elephants. It took me getting fired from jobs. It took me working at a steakhouse, Home Depot, going through training at Apple, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, because you don't know, and that's okay. It's okay if you don't know. You just gotta put in the time and don't give up. If it's something that you want, you can get it. It just depends how long you're willing to work for it. One of my biggest issues in creating content, be it that that's cinematography, like film stuff or photo stuff, or coming up with a photo series, or just trying to grind out ideas for new art and content and media, a lot of my issue comes in me not being able to get out of my own head. I think a lot about everything. I think about, okay, well, it could look better if I wait until I set up my office to make it look a little cooler with a nice background, or maybe it'll be better when I get that extra light. I'm gonna wait till I get the light. Or it could be better if I did. Stop. Just stop. Step one, just do it. Just stop thinking about it. Just do it. Just film. Just start filming now. Forget about the light. Forget about the couch or the setup or the background, or I don't know where to get music from. I don't know where. Just forget all of that for now. The only thing you need to think about is just filming. The same thing goes for photos. I don't know what to take photos of, or I don't know how to get my photos to look as good as this guy that I follow on Instagram. Or you know how you're gonna get there? By taking thousands of bad photos. You're gonna get better once you go through the shit. You know, how do you take good photos? You take thousands of bad photos until you start taking more good photos. And then the ratio starts changing, and then suddenly you've got more good photos than you have bad photos, and before you know it, people are asking you how to take good photos. But the step that is required to get to that point is just starting to take photos. Take photos of whatever. Shoot what you're eating, shoot your trip to IKEA, find something interesting in a shopping mall and take photos of it. Hang out with some friends, shoot that. Just shoot your pets, your kids, anything. You just gotta start.
I think if you don't fail, you're not doing it right, to be honest. I think you should be failing often. But it's important. It teaches you limits and shows you like the limits you need to pass. If nobody ever made mistakes, life would be really boring.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you only try to succeed, then you're limiting yourself not to fail, which your failure could eventually become your greatest
100%.
success.
Yeah, never be afraid of not getting it right or failing or not getting the part or not getting the job. Like, it's just one more notch in your belt, but you're still gonna wear it. It's a long piece of leather. There's tons of room for more notches. Nobody sees the like 17 plus years of work that I've done before today where you finally stumbled upon a video of mine.
If you have never charged for your work before or charged to do what you love and made money from it, I think the best way to jump in, to start, test the waters, if you will, is to work for free. Now, I'm not saying give it all away, bust your ass, and find someone that needs work and just make them money. I'm saying offering your services to someone that might need them is a great way to get your name out there, to get your work out there. Maybe someone needs headshots. Maybe you've got a friend who's a realtor and he needs some photos for the signs that he's gonna be putting up all over the neighborhood. Boom, your photos are now on a sign all over a neighborhood. You can be like, yeah, I do realtor photos. It doesn't matter. No one has to know that you did it for free. You can always just say, yeah, I've done it before. I've done work for this guy. He's this realtor. He put his stuff up everywhere. No one's ever gonna know who you are, and no one's ever gonna know that they can actually pay you to take photos if you don't start kind of just plugging yourself into that pipeline. One of my friends, Daniel, told me once, if nobody hates you, you're probably doing it wrong. And that's just the case. There's all kinds of trolls on the internet. If you're an artist, it comes with the job, you know? These people don't have creativity, so they spread what they have to offer, which is negativity, in hopes to bring you down. That's their contribution to society. And if anything, we shouldn't be offended by it. We shouldn't be hurt by it, even though a lot of the things that are said can be hurtful. If anything, we should feel sorry and pity for these people because all they have to contribute is just negativity. And think about what it is to live like that. That's miserable. Write mean shit on the internet. I mean, learn to cook, just anything. They don't have what it takes to put the work out there, but you do. They don't have what it takes to go out and create something and make something and put it on the internet and open themselves up to being vulnerable, to just put art out there for the world to experience. Not everyone's gonna like it. You know, you go see a movie, you might not like it, your friend might like it. You might love it, your girlfriend hates it. Your boyfriend loves it, you hate it. So it's subjective, art is subjective. That's the best part about it. It's not for everybody. So don't be discouraged by the people telling you, you're a complete idiot, I can't believe you did that, this video is complete garbage, it's shit, you suck. That's fine, like whatever. You're the one sitting here, putting in the work, putting that art out there into the world, and that is what's gonna open doors. There's a cool Andy Warhol quote, I forget like the specifics of it, but it's like, make art, and while people are deciding if they like it or not, make more art. Ultimately, it doesn't matter.
Did you ever go through a time in your career where you felt like you were doing everything right, but you weren't gaining any traction? Yeah, my whole life. There was plenty of times I would start a new photo series or shoot a bunch of weddings and think like, oh, these shots are so good. And the clients wouldn't really be happy, or I wouldn't get anywhere with the photo series I was doing, or I'd get picked up for some local magazines and they put my photos on the cover and I was like, yes, but then no phone calls would really come from it. And I would try to network and you would get discouraged and stuff like that. But the key is to just be relentless. Don't stop trying. Even if nothing's coming from all the work you're putting into it, it's happening in the background. It'll all manifest to something. All of that time and work is by no means wasted whatsoever. So just keep at it. Even if it's nothing's coming to fruition, you feel like all these efforts are just like for nothing, they're not. Absolutely they're not. They make you who you are. They make you better at what you do. You learn from every single thing that you do and you shoot and project that you work with and people that you meet. Just eventually just like, it'll just happen and you'll be like, oh, okay, wicked. Super happy I stuck with this. But being consistent is key. And I liken that too. Let's say Netflix didn't exist, right? And we still had to watch TV shows weekly. Let's say an episode of 24 came on back when it was in the heyday and that was on a Monday. And then you're looking forward to next Monday when 24 is coming back. But you know what? They just skipped 5 weeks and then 24 was on. And then it was on for like 4 days in a row and then it was gone for a month. You'd be like, what is happening? You just can't fall in love with it. You can't get into it. You can't get on board. So consistency, being consistent with your posting times and committing to doing this and starting that channel is something that's really gonna help you guys out, really gonna help your channel. I'm a perfectionist. Like if my B-roll doesn't look a certain way, there's a slight camera shake in just, if I'm shooting in 120 and it's moving in close and then, oh, it just kind of goes out. It's garbage, delete it. I don't even want to see it. And even still, at the end of my videos, like I'm pretty much
always unhappy with my videos. It's just like, I don't know, I just don't like my own stuff. And it's because I'm so hard on myself and such a perfectionist. So it's kind of like liberating, also challenging doing a video like this where it's like, I'm not gonna have any B-roll in it. Like there's no music I can loop for like 30 minutes without wanting to go crazy. So like I might not even put music in this video, and just thinking about that stresses me out. It gives me anxiety. Yeah. But I think it's good to like do things that make you feel so uncomfortable. I think that means you're growing. That means as a creative person, you are expanding that toolkit that you have. And I think the bigger that toolkit is, the more valuable it is because you just understand everything better. So this in and of itself is kind of like us stepping out of our comfort zone and doing something that is completely outside the realm of everything we've done before as far as YouTube goes. Yeah. Grant Anthony asks, how do you deal with comparing your work to others? How do you get motivation to carry on when there's so many photographers that are better than me? Let's start with this. There's always gonna be someone that does what you do better. And to me, that's a good thing because I don't wanna be the ultimate best at what I do. If I was the best photographer in the world, I was the best cinematographer, there was nobody better, it would be so boring. It would be so lonely. It'd be cool for like a day, and then you'd be like, wow, like, now what? Being not as good as other people lets you get a taste of what it is that you want to strive towards. It lets you think to yourself, wow, I want to get to that place and shoot photos like that. So how do I get there? Let's build a plan. Let's make the steps. Let's get inspired on a daily basis, because you're scrolling through Instagram and you're like, look at all these incredible photos. I need to be taking photos like this. So what are you gonna do about it? Go start taking photos like that. That's my approach to it. Like, I'm super happy that I'm not the best at what I do, and seeing better editors and seeing better vloggers and seeing better photographers just makes me love what I do even more, because I just think to myself, man, there's so much room to grow forever, and that's what I love. I know I've mentioned in a lot of previous videos and throughout different tutorials and stuff that, you know, to break into the industry, you have to do X and you have to just get out there and start making contacts. But, you know, I think I haven't, and I've forgotten to mention that more importantly than all of this stuff is to have a good time doing this. Most of us probably started photography as a hobby or as something that we just wanted to do to have some fun or make new friends or just be creative and find a new way to express ourselves. And that's forgotten a lot of the time down the roads when you start making money and you start, you know, doing jobs, and it stops being fun and stops being a hobby and just turns into what you have to do to make it happen. And I think it's very, very easy to go down that path and just forget about, you know, why it is you love doing what you're doing in the first place. So I thought about that today when I was flying the drone, just because, like I mentioned earlier, that the light wasn't good and the footage, you know, it's okay, but just have fun flying the drone, have fun hanging out with friends. And my friend Gabriel put it really well, is that, like, not only does he love photography, but he loves where it takes him, because the experiences that you have in doing this craft are as unique as the craft itself. Did I think I was gonna be tapping trees today for sap in the middle of a forest? No, absolutely not. But am I pumped that I got to be there and share that experience with a friend and drink beer and just have a good time? Yeah, absolutely amazing. And is it about capturing the best footage possible? Not all the time. Sometimes you just gotta go out, capture the memories, capture that feeling that you had when you first started photography, when it was just fun and you did it because you loved to do it. Bit of a cheese ending, aw. I just wanted you guys to know that, because I forget that myself. It's about having fun at the same time. So that's where I'm gonna end it. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. What a great day.